All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Daily Update, my 1000 Days Challenge. This is day 109, so let's get things started. All right, so first and foremost, you'll notice the balance is up a little bit. That's due to a long side trade that I took for Bitcoin on the experimental trade setup, and it went in my favor. So that's the difference in that. And yeah, so in terms of the market update, generally, what I do see over here is you can see from yesterday to today was a transition of the US side market turning bullish again, whereas the China side was actually now more like a consolidation pattern. So it seemed to be like flipping and flopping in that sense. All right, so over here, as you can see in the S&P 500, it actually closed at all-time high, even though it didn't make an all-time high, but the close was the highest close it had in that sense. Because over here, even though it made this high, you only managed to close over here. So definitely, this is a very strong bullish momentum, and it looks really parabolic in comparison to, say, for example, over here. So you can see like that in terms of the respective angle, why it's much more parabolic right here. So I expect that when the drop starts happen, it'll be very drastic as well. So for me right now, I'm actually on hold. I'll wait for a clear line of support, at least near the 20 exponential moving average on the daily chart for me to continue to add for dollar cost averaging as well, unless it hits, say, for example, 3 months down the road, then again, I'll add as well. All right, as well for Nasdaq on the other hand doesn't look that bullish, even though it's bouncing up. It seems to be struggling below this downslope kind of resistance. But like what I mentioned, I'm not so particular about downslope kind of resistance because it's highly subjective. You can draw it on log scale, on linear scale, and also the line itself from point to point also differs from people. Some people could draw it here to here, some people could draw it here to here and stuff like that. So in my personal opinion, I generally avoid using trend line, slope trend line in that sense. Yeah, that's just me. But of course, when it's clear like this, I still take into a bit of a consideration, but not so much in that sense. All right, then for ASHR, it's still looking great. Even price is very much maintaining above the 20 exponential moving average. So it's not so-called in the area of value yet. I'll definitely add if prices is near the 50 or at least the 20 exponential moving average. All right, for KY, similarly, same thing. So potentially there could be more consolidation over here. When it does, then yeah, let's see how it goes. But I would prefer to buy only at least around here near the key support at around the $66 region, or preferably even at the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart. And interestingly, on Bitcoin, Bitcoin looks really bullish right now. Still, like what I mentioned, there's still no clear sign of resistance yet. The next in line will definitely be at the 19K mark. That will be the final key resistance that I do see. Thereafter, it's very likely to break above that. Once it does break above the 20K, I do see that we can have strong momentum heading to new high in the near term as well. So right now you can see over here, it's still not so much of a parabolic as what people describe. Even though it's going upwards, it's going up in like a steady state rather than say like a very sharp phase, like what happened say maybe years ago. So say for example, if we look over here, this kind of parabolic move versus here, it's similarly parabolic but not as bad, I would say. You can measure the angle if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but I think that's not the key thing. I'll explain. I remember that there is a tool to measure the angle. Maybe I'll do it later and then I will show you guys tomorrow. But what I see over here is definitely very strong parabolic. It's still considered parabolic in a sense, but not as strong as what I was seeing in 2017. So obviously we're going to meet resistance soon enough. Could it be at the 19K mark? Potentially, yes. I do see the potentially we could swing between this 16K to 19K region before we consolidate there nicely, say maybe until middle of March next year, and then we could break to even higher highs in that sense. So yeah, so right now I'm definitely not adding any more in terms of long-term position, but definitely I'm still trading with the cap limit of nearing the 19K mark. So over here is what I've entered previously on the breakout. I'm still in the trade and I'm still trading in it. Yep, so that's basically about it. If you have yet to enter a trade, if you were to look at a 4-hour chart, another area of potential setup that yesterday could have happened would have been this. So the break above this, we have entered around 16K, still a little bit higher than I would want, but yeah, that could potentially be it. So alternatively, you could also have entered over at this candle itself, the mini disc candle close. You could form, or what people will see is a double top, but what I do see is the second attempt to knock generally has a higher chance of breaking out. And then with a nice stop loss right below here, you have given a good risk to reward setup. So personally, one of my experimental trade setup did enter based on this. And yeah, but whether or not it will go in my favor, I do not know. Let's just manage accordingly. Otherwise, that's more or less about it. This will be my key trade that I've entered, which is above 16K with stop loss at 40.8K. And I'm actually trailing towards using the 50 simple moving average. So I'm not using strictly that, meaning to say if it touches that, I'm not going to close it immediately. I want price to close below it on the 4-hour chart in order for me to even exit off this trade. So tentatively, I'll still put my stop loss over here in that sense. But otherwise, that's about it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.